On people, welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Special guest in the building, needs no introduction. One of the big
Mm.
six, Saeed in the building. What are you telling me, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. I'm blessed. You get me. I got done nice on the big six, man. You get me? Like, I got a decent. You get me? Portugal, Croatia.
Yeah, I
You
see that.
feel me? Like, it's decent, man. It's decent. You get me? Like, it's not. You know, what I mean, a lot of people saying Portugal have got it this year, but for me, obviously they won the Euros and whatnot. But apart from that, they've been a bit disappointing. So let's
Mm.
hope they can click it together because they've got a strong team, man. So yeah, man, I'm blessed. What are you saying though?
I'm good, man. Can't complain, bro. You know, we're here, so we're good, man. We're lucky to be here, innit? So, yeah, man,
Come on, man.
let's get into the football talk and that. But first of all, big up Herb for becoming a member on the channel. Appreciate that, bro. Big up for your support and that.
Big
And
up, man.
make sure everyone goes and subscribes. Saeed TV. No more United Central. Man's come with the fresh look.
Nah,
You know,
man.
new name.
Saeed TV now, man. We're moving upwards. You feel me? Come on, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
appreciate that, man.
yeah. No worries, bro. So obviously we're gonna talk United and Arsenal. Like everyone
Mm,
knows on here, I call myself the History Channel. That's why I put man like Anelka and then man on the green screen. I
mm,
can't relate to these man right now.
mm.
But
Trust
obviously,
me.
obviously, for example, this season, I see
Mm,
Man United fans went crazy on the protests, going for
mm.
the owner. I sit here sometimes as an Arsenal fan. I think, yo, Man United have spent money over the years. You've gone for some of the
I
biggest
know.
managers. You're the second biggest spenders in the Premier League since 2013 when Ferguson left.
Mm.
What is so bad about Manchester United's owners from a fan's point of view?
I think it's for me, it's that the way that they've never kind of for me been ambitious in terms of changing the structure of the football club. So I feel like they've had money, but they spent it the wrong way. And I think for
Yeah,
me, if you're doing that for other reasons, like say that when Pogba signed, you know what I mean, you see the Adidas deal, you see how things were moving into the point where they did a whole Pog back and all that, you feel me?
yeah,
They
yeah,
made it into a commercial signing. It was never ever really a signing that for me was going to change the structure of the football club because they bought him, they bought Zlatan, who was 34, even though he did a great job. They bought Bailly and Rojo, and I think that was it. I think that summer, you know what I mean. So at the end of the day, there wasn't much structure to that kind of signing. I think Man United are fed up because what they're trying to do is they're trying to make us believe that they're spending, but they're spending our money, the money that in reality Man United make through revenue. If the money that's come out, you only go look at down the road for me. Man City has
mm,
spent 1 billion of their money, and the Glazers spent 1 billion out of the club's money. So not much money has been spent. I think over the last few
yeah,
seasons, we've spent about 70 million in net. In net. So we've accumulated some signings, we've sold on some things, but
yeah.
our money hasn't come through. It's like the Lukaku. Lukaku, we sold him. You know what I mean? We didn't really get a replacement, did we?
No, you
You know what
didn't.
I mean? Because at the end of the day, we sold him, we signed a few players. I think we signed Maguire and whatnot, and then we only spent like 60 million. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, Man United at the minute, what they're trying to do is obviously Super League was a Super League, but they're spending money, but not in the right areas. And I think the whole structure, you've got three bankers in charge from Bristol University. They're very, very clever in what they're doing in terms of commercial. But what they've
Yeah,
done is, bro, they've abandoned the football side of it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like they've abandoned the ethos of the football club. What do they want? What kind of manager do they want? What philosophy? They want Van Gaal, Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The last one's desperate. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has no managerial capabilities. Mourinho was a quick fix. And Van Gaal, they wanted the coach that would change things around philosophy, but they ended up sacking him after a FA Cup
FA Cup.
final.
Yeah,
Would they have sacked Ollie after the FA Cup final? I'm not sure. So priorities for me have been wrong. And I think everyone's just had enough, man. We've all had enough, bro.
mm,
You know what I'm trying to say to you? So, yeah, man, that's in a nutshell what Man United are trying to do, bro. And for me, you know what I mean? We did the protest here, but it was a trend, man. Like, for me, even the Arsenal one was a trend. You
mm.
went there, everyone did their thing, day out and that. Everyone got a few photos and whatnot. And then everything's back to normal. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's hard to keep a protest going. Whereas a manager, you see it week in, week out. The
Yeah,
the late substitution. Does the owners tell Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to make a late sub in the 100th minute? I don't think they do. Same with Arteta. Did the board say to Arteta, yo, listen, Why taking Aubameyang off when you're chasing Villarreal and you need a
No,
goal? You know
don't,
what I mean? These
don't.
are the kind of things.
Oh, it's crazy, man. Oh, do you know what? Like, you've been obviously very much calling for Solskjaer. You want
Yeah,
Solskjaer. Listen, even me as an Arsenal fan, I look at Man United. I think
yeah.
you can't get to where you need to get to with Ollie in
No,
charge. He was probably a good quick fix. He made everyone feel good, lifted the spirits when Mourinho kind of
yeah.
pulled them down. But
Mm.
are you not like me? I've been making videos saying, why are we not moving for Conte? But obviously they're going to stick with Arteta. Would you take Conte at Man United?
Oh, all day long, mate. Are you mad? Listen, I was on what time was it last night? 2 a.m. Yeah, I think Fabrizio Romano reported something about Conte about he wasn't going to leave, and he wasn't going to kind of leave and down tool his morals just to kind of move to a football club. He weren't going to do that. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So for me, I think I would take him all day because I feel like Man United need a winner now. We've
Yeah.
seen it all with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That man management, the so-called man management, it lasts for so long, mate. You know, you need a person who, like Unai Emery, like whether you like it or not, and I don't know if you kind of liked him or not, but Unai Emery tactically beat Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on that day. He made 2 wing-back substitutions. He
Yeah.
brought Coquelin on when United was starting to take hold of the midfield.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He changed it around. He made 5 subs before Man United made 1.
Crazy.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So for me, I think Conte would give us that for me. The coaching aspect, get these guys drilled into a system and a style of play. And then hopefully these guys can adapt to it so that when someone comes in from the bench, they can go into that system thinking, you know what? I know what I'm doing here. The manager just spoke to me to say, you know what? Right, I'm doing this and this and this. And then we can get somewhere. But if you've got a manager saying, you know what? Do what you want, guys. You know what I mean? You know, Rashford, I know what you do. You do it well. You can't have a manager that says, yo, you do it well. Because at the end of the day, the football's changed now. Football is all about in-game management and whether you can affect games. So say now when you're on top, can you stay on top? Or when you're falling behind, can we change it and adjust the tactics? But if you can't do that, then I'm sorry, mate, but you're going to fall behind. And for me, Conte, like you said there, Marvel, he's a serial winner.
Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, looking at the start of the season, I would have probably predicted Man United to have finished 3rd or 4th because I would have thought City and Liverpool. Liverpool won the league. City spent massive again. You finished 2nd. I know you haven't won a trophy this year because it looks like you're going to keep Solskjaer for another year.
Yeah, it kills me.
Is there any positives you can cling to? Is there anything you can look at and say, at least put the club in this position for maybe when you do move on?
Listen, the only probably thing I would probably say is that there's more seats at Old Trafford than there was before. You know what I mean? Like I said to you, you know what I mean? Honestly, mate, it wasn't good, man. Because you know in them winter times, bro, you need a bit of warm. You know what I mean? You need your body warm, bro. And in Mourinho era, bro, it was cold, man. It was cold. So for me, it's good to see people around you. And the fact that also that the players like each other, man. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. Like we've got a group of players that I like. Not saying in terms of individual players. Like I don't think McTominay is great, but I don't really like dislike them more than something else. Like say now Marouane Fellaini, I just sometimes used to be like, oh man, what kind of football are you, man? You know what I mean? Like you guys are Shaq, like, oh, come on, man, what are you doing, man? You know what I mean? Like Phil, you know what I mean? Like you just certain players, you're like, man, who is this man? But now you kind of just you assess them on their football abilities.
Yeah.
And I think for us, maybe on that side of it, it's okay. But again, man, you know what I mean? Good guys don't win, man. Not always good guys win. You know what I mean? You got to look at Pep Guardiola. He's going to strengthen again next summer. You got Chelsea, Champions League winners in 4 months since Ole Tuchel took over. You've got Liverpool won't be the same as this last season, mate. I'll tell you that, guys.
Nah,
they'll be back, mate. Van Dijk and Gomez back. They'll be back, mate. So at the end of the day, my thing is, right, how far will Man United progress with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to how much will Pep and Tuchel go further on? And that's the problem with Arsenal United. We might take baby steps, but they might take 3 or 4 steps that will leave you behind. Stranded, mate, you know? So I'm thinking we can say Glazers out and Kroenke out, But ultimately, a manager bridges the gap. Yes, money bridges the gap. But we've already, do you know what I'm trying to say to you? We've already understood that. We've got Donny van der Beek. We've got Amad Diallo. We've got certain players on the bench that can make a difference, right? But if the manager doesn't use them, there's only so much difference that you could give money into it. And you can say, you know what? Right, here's the money. I'm going to put it in here. But it's down to the manager to say, you know what? Right, I implement my style of play onto that. You know what I mean?
100%.
How many players have failed, he thought? Biggest one is Lampard. Lampard had what? How many players?
Oh, he bought everyone.
He brought everyone. He couldn't get them together. Tuchel came in. Boom.
Champions League
winner.
Bruv, do you know?
Game, mate, it's crazy, man.
Do you know what makes me laugh? Yeah, I see you and Rant say, what do you say? No tactics, just vibes, yeah?
Just vibes, listen, man. Freestyle football, man.
We're at Arsenal. We're no tactics, no vibes. We haven't got anything. Yeah, we got nothing yet. And John Smith said here, big up John for the super chat. He said, Saeed, how can Arsenal get back to where we belong? I mean, you think you're having it bad, bro. You think you're having it bad. You lot finished second. You've still got some good players. You know, you're trying to buy Sancho and players out. We just missed out on Buendia, a man from the Championship, going to Aston Villa ahead of Arsenal. Like, we're literally at rock bottom. How can you see any hope for Arsenal at this stage?
You know what? Yeah, and I told them, what's it called? What's his called again? Robbie's brother, Laurie.
Yeah,
big up Laurie, by the way. I said to him, man, I've got this weird feeling that Arsenal next season are going to turn it around. And do you know why I say that? Hold on.
No, you did do that.
Honestly, you know why I say that? Yeah, I think it's gone that low for Arsenal. Can it get any lower?
I think it can.
I don't think it can. You know, I think it's only one way up. Honestly, I've been really, really serious. I think for me, it's gone that low for Arsenal. Twice you've been, eighth, right? Eighth.
Yeah, 2 years in a row.
You know what I mean? 2 years in a row. I don't think it can get any lower than this. I think Arsenal next season, mark my words. What's the day today, yeah? 10th of June. Arsenal are having a good season next season. Mark my words.
We'll finish 7th. We'll move at one place.
No, honestly, man, I think you'll be challenging for top 4 next season. No, because you know what happened, yeah? What will happen, yeah? It'll be Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, top 3, battle it for the league. And I think Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United, I'd say all the others, the rest of that little ones, the rest of them will be, Leicester will be challenging for that 4th position. I'm telling you right now, people, it can't get lower than this. I really, really do. I'm not listening to Grizz, man. Guys, I'm not doing a Grizzetta. All I'm just saying to people is, Arsenal will have a good season next season. Because at the end of the day, it can't get lower than this. Surely, it can't get lower than this for Arsenal.
I think it can.
I got to the point, where I stopped bantering Arsenal. I never get tired of bantering Arsenal. But I got tired of it. I thought, listen, man, you know what I mean? It's expected now.
Do you know what I mean? You know a lot of managers in the Premier League, they come out like they'll beat Arsenal. Like Pep will beat Arsenal, brush us aside, and he'll go, oh, Mikel Arteta's a fantastic manager. And I always say, these men are saying it because they want him to stay there so he keeps failing. You know what I mean? And that's what you're doing, bro. You're doing.
No. You know what it is, I think for Man United and Arsenal, we're on different paths, aren't we? You know, we are. We're on different paths. And by the way, I don't think Arteta's the right manager for Man United, but I just look at it and I think from a perspective of how bad it's been for Arsenal, I honestly cannot see it going any worse. You know what I mean? For us, when you look at Man United, though, it's as if we're there, but we can't get to the next level. For Arsenal fans, it's right top 4, and this top 4 race is achievable because end of the day, look how much people bottled it for that top 4. Leicester, Chelsea at the end stumbled over the line. Liverpool had the worst season ever, and they still made 3rd position. That's what we're dealing with. This Premier League is a yo-yo. I really, really do. I think it's a yo-yo league. You know what I mean? Man City could have the worst season next season. Liverpool could run away with it. You just don't know what's going to happen. But the problem is, are you going to get backed? And that's the main thing.
No.
When I look at Arsenal, if you're not going to get back, then for me, it's going to be a trouble season. But if you go and get, what's his name? What's that brother called? Basuma. You know what I mean? If you go and get, I would reckon you'll probably need to get Odegaard back on loan. You know what I mean? You got him on loan, innit, right?
Yeah, we had him on loan.
Yeah,
He can't stop laughing, you know. He knows.
I don't know, man. I'm just seeing how much you're going to spend for him, man.
Bro, we're cash generator, man. We don't buy.
What's happening in Bandia, man? Man, Bandia's rejected, you know. What's going on?
Here we go. This is why I got him on the show. This is why, yeah, he's the troll of the Big Six show. You know what I mean?
Listen, man. What's happening in Bandia, man? How's man rejected you, man? How's man rejected you?
Bro, I don't know what's going. Why do you think I've got a Nelka on the background? I don't know what this club is anymore.
It's a good documentary, by the way. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you right now, man. Arsenal, you know, is it? You know what? Yeah, is it even exciting to be at Arsenal now? When you look at what's going on here, before you'd have good stadium, good crowd, good football, but now you don't get good football.
No,
you know what I mean? The crowd have had enough, and when you look at the Arsenal structure. Most players are looking at there thinking, you know what, Sabias said, you know what, I'd rather risk it not being in that Real Madrid team that stay one more season at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Xhaka had enough.
Yeah.
Xhaka's getting a decent move. How is Xhaka getting a decent move to Roma under Mourinho?
It's not
you know
bad,
what I mean? It's crazy. It's not bad. It's a 5-year deal.
5 years, brother. 28.
Wow. 28, mate. That is crazy, man. But that just shows you what's going on at Arsenal, mate. Like, it's as almost if, you know, an Arsenal football club of the past year would have said, nah, Xhaka, you're staying put, mate. And you know what? We're going to find a replacement before you can leave. That's what I would have done. I was like, yo, Mac G, you get me? You've took your shirt off. You've got countless red cards here. You're staying put. And then when we find the Sumo, then you can go leave.
Yeah.
But my man just left and said, yo, you man do, you know what I mean? Dish the dirt and then just left, bro. I don't understand what happens, you get me?
You got, and that's what I said, because any big club, like you said, they would have signed the replacement, then said to Xhaka, yo, you sit back and we'll sell you in the Euros. This man's actually telling us, like, yo, I want the deal done before the Euros. You know, we were saying 20 million. I think we've accepted like 16 million for him. A lot of people are talking there. I'll be doing an Arsenal show at 4:30 about Xhaka and Onana, the goalkeeper from Ajax. He's had his ban reduced to September, so look out for that. Big up John Smith with a super chat. He said, call me delusional or whatever, but I remember when we used to challenge for titles. It's embarrassing, man. I mean, bruv, growing up, it was United Arsenal won it. Like,
United Arsenal, man.
Biggest game of the whole season. Do you know what I mean? Fergie and Wenger, Van Nistelrooy, Henry, Keane, Vieira. Like,
I remember, like, when I started watching United, for me, it was like the early 2000s. So I reckon it was about 2001. I remember when I used to proper watch United. I used to go to my uncle's house because back in them days, there was only one person that had the skybox in it. So I had to go like deep. So I had to go like deep in Moss Side, and just go and watch it at my uncle's cafe. I remember the first time we played Arsenal, I can remember, was when Henry chested it. I did that volley over. Oh, was it over Bartez's head or something like that?
Barthez, yeah.
Oh my God, mate. There was, for me, that the real moment. And I think from where we were, I think we are Nostalgia FC. You guys are, I think, Nostalgia history. We're now PR. We're now DNA. We're now kind of like rewriting the history. When reality, mate, you know, Fergie, that was Fergie's time. You cannot make sure that you can say, you know what? If that's what happened for Fergie, you'll have to have Solskjaer. No, it won't, mate. So I think both clubs, I think they're in denial of the past. You know, I think both clubs are kind of, you know, thinking that, you know what happened then will happen now, and our name will stand good. Our name's gone, mate. I think we're elite clubs by name, but we're not elite clubs by standard of football in terms of how football clubs run. You know what I mean? We've literally lost to Villarreal, them yellow submarines, man, that you guys couldn't beat. You know what I mean, bro?
Mad. Sinking, man, in the submarine.
They sunk me deep, bro. You get me? I was going to turn bold, man, for them. I even put myself on the line. I said, I'm going to be bold for United. And they still couldn't do that, bro. You know what I'm trying to say to you? So, end of the day, when you look at it, man, I think Arsenal fans and United fans, I don't know whether we keep keeping the standards high for our own ego, or do we just lower them and say, you know what? Maybe we just watch United for what they are, or watch Arsenal for what they are. But it hurts because you see clubs like Man City. Like, I've got City in my family. Like, all my brothers in my family are City, apart from one. You know, it's only me and my other brother are riding. They're all rest of them, mate. All City fans.
Yeah.
The whole of the town is blue. Like I said to you, I went down the street. I'll be serious. I'll tell you a funny story. I went down the street, and I seen my little cousin, and he had two of his City mates who were all wearing City tops. I said, take that shirt off, man. Come on, man. United's the way. He went, nah, man, your club's banter, man. Your club's dead. You know what I mean? In a little squeaky voice. And I was like, the youths are telling me that my club is dead. Like, what's going on? Seriously, man, I'm getting bantered on the streets, bro.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go now, who do you support? City. Everywhere is blue now, man. And that's what hurts me the most, because at the end of the day, there used to be that club that, these guys, I live literally right across Main Road, and these guys were leaving at half time.
Because the game's
That's
done.
how bad it was. But the game was done. Half time, you see a flurry of blue shirts. You know what I mean? Because that's how bad it was, man. Chelsea. Who knew them before 2004?
Mate, don't get me started on them. You'd be lucky to see one Chelsea shirt back then. Now I'm seeing swarms of Chelsea shirts, bro. Champions of Europe, 2 stars on the badge.
There you go. Both of our cities are blue. Both of our cities are blue right now. You feel me? And I look at it and I think it's disheartening, man, because at the end of the day, I think Man United, especially Woodward and Kroenke, gave the license for Chelsea to move 10 years ahead of us. Well, in reality, that should never have happened. And I'm including Alex Ferguson in this as well. I think Arsene Wenger's to blame as well. Arsene Wenger and Sir Alex Ferguson are partly to blame for this, because at the end of the day, Alex Ferguson said there's no value in the market. What do you mean there's no value in the market? There was players there. There was guys like Schneider available. Guys were linked with for 10 years. There was players available. But we never went for it. And we kept using the shape option, because at the end of the day, Alex Ferguson was a phenomenon. He said, yeah, you know what? I can do players with Anderson and Gibson. And I can, for me, work with that. And the club trusted him. He should have said, no, I want to build something for the next future. Arsene Wenger stayed more than he should have, for me.
He did.
And almost like, for me, kind of taking his legacy. I think he's a top manager. And I think he's one of the best that we've ever seen in the Premier League. But he almost taken his legacy because he stayed far too long. You know what I mean? It's almost like, when you get a guest, you invite your guests around to your house, and then it's like, yo, brother, it's Monday now. You get me? You got to go now, You know what I mean? But is anyone bothered? You know what I mean? Are they bothered, though? And that's the problem, mate. And now what we've got is we've got a group of players whose mentalities are down the drain, mate. You know what I'm trying to say to you? Who are happy to stay in that house and pay low rent money, because at the end of the day, they know they're not going to get shouted at. So if they're saying that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's going to let me off of doing things or whatnot, same with Arteta, he's going to be like, you know what? Aubameyang said, I didn't score this week, but I'm going to be late for training. You feel me? Like I'm cool, man. Who's Arteta? But if you got Antonio Conte there, though, it's a different story.
Them things can't run. That's what I'm saying. It's all about the manager, man.
It's all about the manager. Owners are owners, but managers are in-house. They deal with everything that runs at a football club. Yeah, simple.
Let me read these super chats. Peter said, "I was man moaning they made the Champions League," but I think Peter, Champions League is not enough for a Man United fan, is it?
No. We were out of it, mate. We were out of it.
Yeah, you ended up in Europa League anyway. John, how can we turn it around? I mean, for me, just quickly before I don't think Arsenal can turn it around unless they change the manager or the owner, because I do believe, like you said, sometimes you have owners at football clubs that aren't great, but a good manager can operate within that structure. So for me, I think Arteta's got to be the first out the door for me, and then the owner's got to be pushed. What do you think?
There you go. The thing is, for me, which one's more easier? You know what I mean? For Man United's sake, we have to get 4 billion plus the debt included. Not many. I tell you what, man, it's not sustainable for an owner to come. I was there when my mate, one of my guys who's got links with the Saudi guys, they were ready to buy this football club for 3 billion. Guess what the Glazers wanted? 5 billion. It's not going to happen, people.
No.
The ones that we control every day is the manager. What does everyone talk about in the normal season? Is the manager. When it gets off season, everyone talks about the owners all of a sudden. When we buy a signing, when we bought Van der Beek, literally on that moment, everyone forgot about the Glazers. As soon as we went to the Super League, we was like, oh, yeah, you know what? The Glazers, oh, they're the ones that are, you know what I mean, destroying our football club. When in reality, they've been doing it for 16 years. Same with your club. When did Kroenke come?
Well, he got full control like 2018, but he's been there like 16 years now.
There you go then. So at the end of the day, people, like the problem is the owners. I'm not denying that. I
100%.
I'm not denying that. But when you look at the in-house stuff and what determines success on the football pitch, because at the end of the day, I've seen managers in the past with a brilliant squad. You only got to look at Niko Kovac at Bayern Munich. He had the best structure, the best facilities, but at the end of the day, it wasn't good enough. Hansi Flick came in, won the whole lot. You know what I'm trying to say? So at the end of the day, people, we can talk about ownerships and whatnot, but I believe you can milk out. Jose Mourinho was a prime example. Listen, he played terrible football. Sometimes I had to leave at 85th minute because I just thought, I've had enough of this, mate. It was awful. Honestly, man, it was awful. It was that bad. Sometimes I left at like 85th minute, 88th minute. I thought, I can't be seeing this, man. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say to you? So, end of the day, that did happen, but still, he won a Europa League and a Carabao Cup in that season. You know what I mean? He got the best of what he could. And then the club then has to build on it, but they never did. They got, I think the next season, they got Fred and Dalot.
Yeah.
I think it was Fred and Dalot, and that was it. And Lindelof. Come on, man, you can't build with that. So, end of the day, bro, we're kind of like, you know, I think this process has become a trend. And I think it can only go on for so long. Whereas a manager is week in, week out. You see his tactics. You see what he's saying in press conferences. You see what he's doing off the pitch. You see his mannerisms. You see everything about him. He's so magnified that it's almost undeniable that you're going to be attached to him and you're going to say, you know what, I'm going to scrutinize him. I'm going to critique him. Whereas with the owners, you can only critique when they've had a bad revenue or when they've done certain things wrong. You know, if we get Sancho now, I tell you what, mate, the megastore is absolutely going to be rampacked.
No, of course it will.
The shirt sales will roof off because that's how football works. People they lose concentration on what happens around them, and then they get sucked in to the whole commercial idea of, wow, we've got Sancho, number 7, a winger. He's almost like a modern winger. He relates to the fans. He's done a few memes. He's done, you know, he's active on social media. He's a kind of almost a current modern day footballer.
Yeah.
So it's almost as if you're drawn to it. And then you forget about the Glades. That's naturally what happens. But the problem is, when a manager comes in and you fit all that included in together and you can't get the best out of Sancho, is then who's to blame then? Do you say another 40, 50 million? I'm not sure. You know, so it's difficult, man. It's difficult.
You know what? You make some great points there, man. And do you know what it is? I think I always say now we're starving as fans, innit? Back in the day, we were being fed success. Now we're starving. Yeah. So any little crumbs they drop off the plate, we're all over it. So, but the only thing is, at least with Man United, they try and do something at times. Like, you're sitting there now going, right, I think we were talking off here. I think we're pretty sure Sancho will go to United in this window.
Well, you know, you'd hope so. You'd hope so.
You'll get the deal done at some stage. I'm sitting here going, like you mentioned Basuma, I'm like, I don't know if Arsenal will even do that. 30, 40 mil, you know, they're being linked with Man for 20 mil and some guy from Fulham in defence. And at least you've got that hope that you're going to probably spend 130, 40 million this summer.
Yeah, I think for me, the thing about the Sancho deal, I'll be honest with you, I don't really want Sancho. I'm probably a few Man United fans that have been very, very vocal that I don't really want Sancho. And I'll tell you why. Because for me, I don't think attack has been our kind of weakest point. I look at Amad Diallo. You know how much we bought Amad Diallo for?
You pay like
40 million.
40 million.
There you go then. 40 million. I think we've got Greenwood who can play on that right-hand side. There's options there. Man United don't need to strengthen up top. You know what I mean? We've got attacking options. For me, where Man United's biggest problem has been is a centre-back option and a CDM. A natural holding midfielder that can go in there and play alongside either Fred or McTominay or whoever's in there.
Yeah.
I would personally go and get 2 midfielders so we don't get both of them. Because I think both of them, for me, ultimately aren't good enough. Fred's a squad player. McTominay's absolutely categorically not good enough for this football club. You know what I mean? Absolutely. I look at the Sancho
final. He did well in the final, didn't
he? The thing is, he did well in the final, and I give him hats off to him, and I give credit to him. But it's almost as if he did something without doing anything. You know what I mean? Like, that should be a basic that players run around the pitch and they kind of give, a bit about them. But in reality, he didn't really hurt them. Coquelin came in and he almost changed the game whereby he came in and he stopped Man United from playing. Man United never played well until after Coquelin came in. So for me, when I look at the Sancho signing, I just think it's a PR signing. I really do. And I think for me, this is only gonna, for me, it might give United a short-term boost. And you know what? Sancho's a good right winger. But when you look at what Man United need, I would have prioritized a CDM and a centre-back. Because at the end of the day, we can get Varane. Varane's available for about 40 to 60 million. He might be on higher wages, but you go sell David De Gea, you go get Varane in for 60 million, and you could give them high wages to Varane. Then you go get CDM. Whether that's Basuma, whether that's Declan Rice, whether that's Ndidi, you go and get a CDM. Then, you can have one holding midfielder. You can allow Pogba to push on, Bruno Fernandes to push on. Knowing you've got security. Then you've got to get a top-class centre-back that's in the back, that can make sure we're pushing up higher a pitch. We don't have to camp in. The way Man United plays, we almost play like a 6 at the back because you've got the 2 holding and you've got the 4 at the back. So they're almost like defending. And it's almost as if it's so much pressure on the defenders. We lack any kind of, attacking threat because there's such a gap in between Bruno and then the McTominay twins. So at the end of the day, mate, the problem is for us that we're chasing this right winger when there's so many options already there anyway.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that because even in that final, I thought Greenwood on the right was your best attacking player in that game. There you go then.
You know what I mean? So then what do we do then? Do we, is the development of Greenwood going to go because then Cavani and Martial are there? So how's Ole going to Solskjaer and Rashford going to get all them lot playing together? Listen, it's a good problem to have. But with the way Ole plays, mate, it's not because he doesn't manage the team well. This myth of Ole's a good man manager is ridiculous. He hasn't held De Gea and Henderson well. He dropped Henderson out of nowhere. He hasn't sorted out the centre-back pairing, who for me, the most balanced one is. The CDM options are terrible. And then up front, you know what I mean? There's certain situations where Rashford has been off form and he hasn't took him off. And when he's been dying on the floor and he said, listen, take me off the pitch, he hasn't done that. So I don't know, mate. I just think for me, other priorities. When you look at Arsenal, everyone wants that flair player. They almost want that player that you think, oh man, would love a player like that on the right wing. But you've got Pepe. You've got who else out there? You know what I mean? You've got options, Saka. Yeah. There's options there. But it's always like we're trying to look for that signing. And I think that's done through social media. Maybe they look at social media and think, you know what? How can we get the United fans back on track? I think, you know what? Get them Sancho and I get all them little kids here. You know what? I'll say to them, give them Sancho, give them something to hype about. Let them do a lot of, Sancho comps and all that and just let them build up the hype in it for me. And then next thing you know, they've got a fan favorite. You know what I mean? And then you go from there. And then the PR, every time we have an interview, Sancho. Every time we have a little promo, Sancho. You know what I mean? They've got so many things that they could do promotion-wise in terms of, commercially. They've got so many things, and it's a big, big plus for United. I'm not sure for us as a footballing fan, it's a plus maybe when there's other positions that you can't be having McTominay pass it to Sancho. Imagine that. Where are you going to play the ball? You only got to look at England. You have Phillips trying to pass to. I think Phillips is a good player, but the way he passes to Sancho wants the ball into space, not right into his feet, and then you got to take on a few man, and then let's you lose the ball because all top players in a wrong system, they don't play well, man. How many sides have we seen? We've seen Pepe smash it up in League One. They come to the Premier League, it's difficult to adapt.
Yeah.
Everyone assumes that Sancho's going to be a good sign and it's going to fit in unbelievable, mate. Who knows, man? We have to see. It's interesting, man. Big up everyone in the chat. Nearly 1,000 people in here. Make sure you like the video, subscribe. Go and subscribe to Saeed TV. Links in the description as well. Do you know what? It's funny how you were saying there. And I remember when I used to play and I used to speak to the kit man and he said, listen, attacking players sell shirts. No one comes in the club shop and gets the centre back on the back of their shirt. You get the odd guy, but in reality, everyone wants the right winger, the striker, the attacking midfielder. Yeah. And clubs just buy into that now, So like you said, I think Sancho, he's not necessarily what you need, but they're just thinking, you know what? They'll make that money back in 18 months on the shirt sale. There you go. So, and also, what has United lost in the last quarterly annual report, shirt sales. What has Adidas been kind of, what has Adidas kind of, done wrongly? Shirt sales. You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, this is all, for me, a PR stunt. And it's what Adidas want. They said, go and get Sancho. It will help us in the long run. And the day, that will bring us shirts. We can move Sancho. They didn't say, go get a CDM because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs it. They didn't say that. And ultimately, that's where the games would have lost. Champions League final, where was the game would have lost? It wasn't What was Mahrez doing on the right side? Nothing. Because at the end of the day, the midfield was gaping hole. Chelsea, Kante, bossed it, and Jorginho. Yeah. So any honest notion that Sancho's going to fix everything up, it's absolute lies. It's fabrication. It's the CDM option, and the middle of the park, go get strong. That's what it's built on. Carrick, Scholes, Roy Keane, Vieira. You know what I mean? You had players in that midfield that they were spying. The right-hand side of these are all flair players that come in, they make a difference. Yes, but they're not always where the games would have lost. You look at the midfield options now in Aston Villa, McGinn, Buendia. You know what I mean? They've got options in there. Everyone's got strong midfield nowadays. Yeah. You know what I mean? So Man United, well, I'm proud of you guys, but I just look at it and think, United are trying to look for things what they kind of need, but they don't really need. Whereas Man United should be looking at a CDM and a centre-back option. And if that 81 million, which we're talking about now, is a huge chunk of what we're doing, then I'm not sure if what we're doing is right. I really don't, because at the end of the day, Champions League and all that, mate, we're so far behind it already. You know what I mean? Sancho, I don't know, man. I wish he proves us wrong, and I wish he kind of is a missing link. But with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as manager, you need more than that. You need more than that, really, because at the end of the day, he's just not good enough as a manager. So at least get backed, and then we can go from there. It's like with Arteta. You can't really say anything, but if he gets backed, then maybe the players ball out, you feel me? You know what I mean? Maybe the players ball out.
You could only hope, innit? Big up John Smith with a super chat. He said, everyone check out Kroenke out on IG. We've been raiding all the Kroenke teams, including the Rams and Nuggets. That's what you got to do. I see one of their players said that he's getting spammed in all his comments with Kroenke out. And he obviously...
Seriously?
Yeah. He put it on Twitter saying, why are all these Arsenal fans spamming everything that I put? You got to make it hard for him, man. But, I wanted to ask you quickly about this guy, Alexis. Yeah. You know what? When you signed him, he was our best player. And I'm thinking, Mkhitaryan, I don't want him. He's already kind of flopped. It's got to go down as the worst swap deal in football history in the Prem. What did you make of that deal?
But I think more on our side because it was Alexis Sanchez. Mkhitaryan was always a player. I kind of liked him for me. I think he scored one of the best goals I've seen at Old Trafford in a long while. That flick, the scorpion flick. I think I've seen Wayne Rooney's goal when he did the overhead kick. But that Mkhitaryan goal, I remember I was on the East Stand and I remember the ball came in and I don't know what he was doing, but he got it in. People say he's offside and whatnot. Listen, who cares? But the scorpion kick, when I seen it, was unbelievable. He had a little bit of pedigree, but Alexis Sanchez, for me at that time, was world class. He was world class at that time. And when I looked at it, I thought, the thing is about Alex Sanchez, I can only remember one good game. Actually, two good games he had for United. One game was at the Emirates. Remember that game in the FA Cup? I think he played well. I thought he played well that day.
Yeah.
And also, for me, when he played against Huddersfield at home at Old Trafford, I think he got a penalty. And I think he played well. I think he got an assist and a penalty. But I thought he played well that day. I think he was very, very active. He was working it out. And I thought, he looked very, very sharp. But for me, when I look at him, man, I was just so disappointed, man, because I wanted Alex Sanchez to do well, man. But he just never had it, man. I remember one time he was arguing with Luke Shaw, telling him to go forward, and then they had an argument on the pitch, and then, Big Steve's in the chat there, big up to Big Steve, man.
Big up, Steve.
Yeah, exactly. Ended up, I don't want to read that end bit there. I thought he was going all right there with that great.
You knew he was going to say something about United,
that's the problem, man. That's, for me, I give Steve banter on that, but they've seen it coming. Yeah. I've literally, when I thought we got Alex Sanchez, prime age, I think he came at 28. I thought, piano, we're going to do this. We're back now. Mourinho's got a player. You know what I mean? He's got a top player on his hand now. Let's do it. Rashford was always kind of fringe play. He was not really a kind of first team, or we needed a player that could go in there and do bits, but it just never ever happened, mate. I remember when it was at Huddersfield away, and I remember it was a nice hot day, and he was just awful, man. He didn't really try, and then for me, that was just the end of it. Really, I think we didn't really try him in different positions. I thought it was better up front. Like I thought when I looked at him, certain moments, I thought he played better up front, but I think in reality, it just never worked out, man. And I think that was the worst. We paid more wages though. We paid nearly 500 grand a week.
500 grand. You give him more than Pogba, didn't you?
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? So, my days, man. Honestly, man, there was just no coming back from it, man. You know what I mean? And for me, that's probably the most disappointing. Him and Falcao are my two disappointments in a United player, because I thought when I remember Falcao was going off to Zante. I remember going on holiday. I was on my way to Zante, and the Falcao came in, and my flight was at 4 a.m. I think the Falcao came in at 2 a.m. I remember writing off, because back in the day I used to be on Facebook. Yeah, I remember writing Falcao, and I thought we had a brilliant player. And we were singing, all the songs about lo 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 and this, you know what I mean, Radamel, Falcao. I remember all them days, man. And like, he just flopped as well, man. You know what I mean? I don't think Varane flopped. I don't really think Varane flopped. I just think that Scholes and Keane were just too dominant. Yeah. I really do. I think he had a good spells, man, in his tenure. I just think for me, he just didn't work out at the end. So. Yeah, man. But you guys have had flops anyway. You know what I mean? You got to look at.
You've done us a few times. Silvestre, Welbeck.
Silvestre.
You know what I mean?
Welbeck. Yeah. To be fair, he was always a bit part player.
Injury prone, man.
Injury prone, man. You got to feel for him, man. I still think he was a quality player at United, because he's a very, very intelligent player. Like a lot of players now, they look at like the way Rashford plays, and he's always got his head down. Welbeck always used to keep the ball. I remember the game against Real Madrid. It was unbelievable. For me, man of the match. When we lost the game, obviously, I think Rodrick scored a winner. But it was unbelievable that day. And I think he was a decent player. It's just that, obviously, injuries kind of killed him. You know what I mean? Di Maria was a disaster. He's a snake. You know what I mean? For me, I remember that day, QPR, man. Unbelievable debut. And then just didn't want to be there. His
house got robbed, in it. Didn't his house get robbed?
Yeah, man. I just think for me, man, people made it uncomfortable. The rain, it's always raining in Manchester anyway. Yeah, it's always cold, man. You know what I mean? And these guys, what they do is they live in like Hale and all them areas where it's like out of town, man. I don't know why all these players go to Hale and all them. Yeah, man. That's why for me, some of them get a bit too, what's the word I'm looking for? Homesick. They live in areas that are just like dead, man. You know what I mean? You got to live in the city. Live in the city like Guardiola lives in the city. He lives in the city centre. Yeah, man. I think he lives in a hotel, I think, or something like that. Forget me. If I'm wrong, Steve, let me know. But I'm sure Guardiola lives in the city. I remember last time he lived somewhere in Deansgate, like he was living in the city centre. So, I just think, you've got to make sure, you know what I mean? Like, you've got to live in the city, man. Feel the energy, feel the vibe, feel the footballing culture. And then you get back into it, but I guess it's all about, privacy and all that, innit? You feel me?
Yeah, these man want that big mansion, man. Nathan,
they want that big mansion.
Why have I got Anelka, bro? I don't know if you've watched Arsenal for the past 5 years, mate, or 10 years, but that's all we got to cling on to right now. Anelka and Henry and do you know what? When I was younger, my dad's a Liverpool fan, and he always used to bang on about Keegan Dalglish. I used to say, yo, man, that's some History Channel business. And now I'm doing the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Is he
your like hero though? When you growing up and you was like, Anelka was a bad man. You feel me?
Now, do you know what? He was probably the player that drew me to Arsenal, but Henry's my favorite ever. But Anelka, very underrated striker at Arsenal. He's one of the best strikers that I've ever watched at Arsenal, like live. Bruv, man, this guy went Real Madrid at like 20 years of age, won the Champions League.
Yeah, I watched that documentary though. Did you watch that documentary?
Seen it on Netflix, was it?
Yeah, man, proper documentary, you get me? So I think for me, it just never worked out. Obviously, he went there, he thought the glamour lifestyle. Yeah, he wanted to see it over there. And also, I think at that time, you had Carnu, didn't you?
Will Todd. Yeah.
Will Todd, you know what I mean? Didn't really get in the team, did he? So I think, you know what I mean? In reality, it just never worked out. But what a play he was, though. I seen the clips of him, man. It was unbelievable, man. Lightning pace, very, very sharp. You know what I mean? Brilliant player, man.
Yeah, man. It's like, it's mad. But moving forward for this season, what's your hopes for this season? Like, in reality, do you think you can catch City, or are you just too far behind them?
I think we're too far behind them. I think the managers are the difference now. You know what I mean? And like a City legend. Yeah, that's when you
better behave, man. Nah, he was washed up at City, man.
Yo, listen, for them it's a legend, isn't it? Because they had bloody Barton and all them players, Stephen Island.
Michael Johnson and Michael Johnson,
yo.
Richard Dunn.
But you know what, though? Fair play to Michael Johnson, because I used to see him train, you know, at the Dome. There's a Dome near us, and they were talking about this kid, Michael Johnson. At least to train at the Dome, because that's where City used to train at, the Dome. I remember they were talking about him. That's when I was growing up, and they were talking about Michael Johnson is going to be the next City player. It's going to be the next kind of a big thing. So I feel for him because he never made it. He got a big injury, but City, man. You know what I mean? They have Paul Dickov as legend, man. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, man.
Do you know what? Yeah, I've been to Main Road a couple of times, and I remember their team back then, man. Oh, it was week one. It was always a tough game, though. It was a tough game.
What was that Chinese fella called? Son. They had Benabi. What was he called? DeMarcus Beasley. Yeah, he was rapping, though, wasn't it? DeMarcus Beasley was
American.
Rapping, though.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, my brother used to tell me about this, and I was like, "Come on, man, what is this DeMarcus Beasley?" But then when they beat us 4-1, mate, I remember that day, man. Oh my god, the worst day of my life, mate. When Shaw Wright Phillips did that robot. Oh my god. Yeah. They celebrated like there was no tomorrow, mate. I remember that day, mate. I was getting it in, man.
I went to my son plays academy football. He played against Man City about 6 months ago. And I'm sitting in their training ground in their dome, and this guy was speaking to me. It was his son was playing for Man City, and he goes, "Oh, I'm a diehard Man United fan." He said, "Season ticket holder and everything." I said, how come your son's at City? He goes, "Oh, United and City came in for him," but he goes, "I had to choose City." He goes, "Look at the facilities, look at the setup, look at the training ground." He goes, "I don't even like being in this training ground," because obviously United fan. But he said,
"We haven't got showers, man."
Yo, you lot, the roof's leaking. You lot got rats running around.
You know what? Yeah, the worst thing about it is my mate's a security at the training ground in the Etihad, not the Etihad, but the one across it. And he's saying that all of the Man United players now, all their sons play for City's academy. I think Phil Neville's one plays. All the ex-players, they've got over there now. Not many United players now at United. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. I think, is it Robin Van Persie's son as well? I think he's at City. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's something about that. But I think what they've got to do, what they've got, though, they've got world-class facilities, man. When you go past it, mate, it's unbelievable, man. I remember East Manchester, and it was awful, mate. And what they did was, Man City, obviously, you know, they play in the council house. So what they did was, the council said, if you want to play at our stadium, remember they bought it after the Commonwealth Games. So it wasn't actually their stadium. So they said, to the owners, right, can you invest in our area? And they said, we'll do it for you. So they did it. And within about 10 years, mate, they've got a bridge linking them. So if you want to go to the training ground, go across the bridge and you're there. And it's a decent stadium, to be fair. So, is that Feyenoord? My bad. Is that Feyenoord? Yeah. But I'm sure there's a few ex-players anyway that are at United that my fingers told me about, my mate. And the names he was telling me, I was shocked, man, because I was like, wow, he's talking his son there. You know what I mean? So it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's difficult. Like the kits are. I don't know. Do you buy any of the United kits? Like,
no, I'm not buying it for 4 years now. 4 years, I've not bought anything for me. I don't want to be. The thing is, for me, I'll buy a season ticket because I love football, and the Glazers were here before Man United were here. The Glazers were here before anything happened. So I was always a match-going fan, regardless. I come here to watch football. I don't come here to watch Glazers. Same way people say that the Glazers are the biggest problem, but it's still back the manager. When in reality, the two go together for me. So at the end of the day, when I look at it, I still got a season ticket, but I just don't buy it from the merch. I don't buy, what do I call it? I don't buy match day revenue. I don't buy anything. I don't even buy water. I mean, I bring my own stuff. You know what I mean? I might lose a little cap, you get me? I might lose a cap, yeah. But what I do is now, when I go to the stadium now, what you do is, honestly, bro, I'm being serious. What do you say here, Saeed? Shut up, man. Shut up.
Steve, man, just come on, man. Just come on the stream.
Yeah, man, get in the stream, man. Get in the stream,
man. There, man. Tell us your Man City dream world.
Yeah, listen, you know what I do? What you do with people, I give you a hack, yeah? When you go in the stadium, take your bottle and then put your cap in your pocket somewhere. Put it in your cap, man, in your pocket. Some woman told me, she's about 7 years old, I said, how do you always get your drinks and your snacks in? And she started giving me snacks and like sweets and all that. How do you bring it in? She goes, what I do is, I take the bottle and then I get the cap and I put the cap in there and I hide it. Sometimes it's in there, but it'll do. You know what I mean? Bro, you got to do this, man. Because that man had a cap. I'm saying, bro, what's this going to do? How am I going to throw this on a person, bro? Like, come on, man. I'm not going to do anything. What's this little cap going to do to someone? You know what I mean, bro? So this is what you do, man.
What? They don't let you have the cap on the bottle? They think it's
bro. Literally, there's a Tesco. Do you know there's Tesco routes at Old Trafford, right?
Yeah.
So I get a drink or whatnot. I get a little Ribena. Boom. You get me? I'm going to the stadium. They do the check here and they go, oh, sorry, mate, no bottle caps in there, mate. You're going to have to take the cap off. I said, what? What do you mean cap on? I'm not going to hold the drink like this all the way through, am I? It don't make sense, mate. You know what I mean, bro? Mad. And then what I do now is I just put the cap somewhere else, yeah, and then bam, I say, see you later, mate, and I take the fingers drink with me, and I put the cap on, bro.
Mad rules?
Because you know why? When you have this drink, yeah, people don't realize it. When you have this drink and you put it down your seat, bro, when you celebrate, that drink's gone, mate.
Of course it is.
That drink's gone. You know what I'm trying to say? So end of the day, bro, I've got to save my drink, bro, people. You know what I'm trying to say? It don't make sense, man.
That's that Rio Ferdinand thing, man, when Man City cut him in over the eye.
There you go, baby. But that was a coin. That was a coin, man. That was a coin. You feel me? But come on, man. These rules, man. You know what? You can't even get anything in the stadium, bro. But all of a sudden, when you go inside the stadium, the rules are all changed, and you can do whatever you want.
Oh man, it's
you know
crazy.
What I mean, bro? So what
about when they protested, man? Was you on the pitch?
Nah. I didn't go to the second protest because I was in London, but I organised the first protest. So the first protest that happened, I was the one that organised it. You get me? I was the one that did it.
Yeah, man.
And man, big turnout. We had about 5,000 people came there, but brother, man, I ended up singing songs that I didn't realise I should have sang. When you get me, there was a song at the end called, I think it was called "Malcolm's in a Box," and I was like, what? Why are we singing "Malcolm's in a Box"? And the next thing you know, bro, I realised, bro, they're wishing death on man, bro. You get me? They singing. Nah, bro. I was like, yo, man, stuff for Lara. Like, you get me? Like, I can't sing that, bro. You know what I mean? This bottle cap smuggler. You know what I mean? So any day, people, I was in there, yeah. So basically, imagine this, yeah. Everyone's there singing, and then everyone's like jumping. So I'm there jumping, and then all I hear is Marcus, and then I'm like, yo, this is a banging tune, this, yo. Let me get involved.
I don't even know what he's singing, man.
I don't know what I'm singing, man. You get me?
Man, I had to ask for forgiveness, you know.
I had to ask for forgiveness, you get me, because I don't wish death on anyone. You feel me? I can't wish death on anyone. But people remind when I check my Instagram, someone tagged me on Instagram saying, "Rah, what are you doing singing that, bro?" I was like, "Oh shit!"
I didn't even know, bro.
I didn't even know, you know, man. I was just like, because everyone was just gassed in it. You feel me? Like everyone was just like, "Yo," like we were just lit, man. It was a lit day then. Like all the people that were saying to you, all the top breads that were saying, "Yo, you're effing this," you get me, you fan cam wankers and all that. By the end of it, we're all together. We're all like, you know, because that's what football does, isn't it? You feel me? You might hate someone, but by the end of it, you know, by the end of it, you're chilling, bro. You're like, everyone's calm in it. You know them ones.
Yeah. Nah, that's mad, you know. You know what? You lot led the way for the protest, though, man. The way you lot got the game.
No, you led it, though. Because at the end of the day, you're the one that properly done it. You know what I mean? For you guys, you know what I mean, that did the whole first protest. Yeah. And then obviously we just went one further forward, bro. Obviously, you get me, the stories that the steward let us in, I still believe that's the truth. That the steward did let them in. Because there was one door, I don't know if there's a video, but there's I don't know if you see the guy, he kicked in, right? So he kicked in one of the doors. I reckon that was probably a disabled entrance. Because in the day, some of them are not manned in it. So he must have kicked into that one. But the second one was manned. And they had about 3-4 guys in there. And you need to open it. So one of them, and most of them, the stewards, bro, you know it for yourself, innit? You feel me? Like, they're Arsenal fans, they're United fans. They got a privileged job here of watching a game and also, you know what I mean, getting money from it. So at the end of the day, they can enjoy it. And one of them must have said, you know what, fuck it, you man come in and it, feel me?
Yeah. Of course he has.
And then they slit him in, yo, and they did their job, bro. So end of the day, man, you gotta realize. But I just think protests now are a trend, man. I think for me, they're not. I don't think it's gonna ever go bigger than what it was. That whole Super League brought a vengeance, bro. It brought proper. But I went to the latest game against Fulham, yeah, and shout out to Nuruddin, yeah. But we went to the game, and everyone thought there was a protest at, what was it, 4:00. The game, we had to go inside the stadium at 5. We went in there 4:00, yeah, outside the stadium. Me and Nuruddin were like, right. But everyone was like, chilling, bro. It was a hot day. I remember it was a hot day. Everyone was like, had a few beers and whatnot. I was trying to get the singing going. And then guess what someone said to me? Yeah, man, and listen, I can't believe it, man. Yo, they did me dirty on there, bro. They did me dirty on there, man.
Hungry,
I don't know if you know, but yeah, but they took me hungry, bro. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, man. I don't know what my forfeit's going to be, but it's not going to be no hair, man. We're not doing hairs anymore. If you want me to eat chili or anything like that, I'll do a chili challenge or something like that, yeah. But hair, that's it, man. I'm keeping my hair, man. You get me? I don't know what I was thinking of last time. But we was in this protest, yeah, and then Nuruddin goes, what's going on, man? Where's the singing? You know, Glazer's out. Guess what they said? They said,
can't sing.
No, he goes, nah, we'll sing it in the stadium. And I went, what? Everyone's here. Everyone's here, like, you know, sing. Next thing you know, I went to the stadium. I'm not even kidding you one time. And the Man United fans and the people out there will vouch for me. One time, I remember, we want Glazers out, so we want Glazers out, but it never materialized. It never went to the next level. Because at the end of the day, this is called apathy. Things change. You come in the stadium, you watch football. I remember I was looking at the stadium and how bad the roof was. And I was looking at the football, I was thinking, the stadium was flat. Apathy comes into it. I think you start feeling that, you know what, I'm here to watch football. Forget all that energy.
And you forget
You forget it, bro. That's what happens.
You want to support the players, innit? You want to support
There you go. So that's why I think, for me, protests are a trend. And it's hard for me to get stuck in there every day, week in, week out. You know what I mean? You only got to look at the walkouts. For me, I think that's the biggest advocate I'm going to do this season is walkouts. If we can get as many walkouts as in the stadium. So I've got no disrespect for tourist fans. I really don't, because at the end of the day, every fan is as much as a fan as the other. But when I look at it, I think, who loves the club more in terms of who does it mean to more? I think the regular match-going fans will say, you know what? Okay, fair enough. I'm going to do something about this. And I came to the protest, whatnot, yeah? And I won't buy merch. But the problem is, though, what you got to realize is, though, in that 60th, but what is he saying there? Go fund me the roof, bro. Yo, listen, put your 20 quid in there, innit? Put your 20 quid in there, you're going to win. Put your 120 quid in there, you're going to win from the big six thing.
You got France, didn't he?
Yeah, you got France, man. You got what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just feel like, for me, if we could get walkouts from the match-going fans in the stadium on the 70th minute, no matter what game it is, I think exactly. For me, they're powerful. Because if I know I'm a match-going fan and we have a forum, we say, you know what, guys, everyone is leaving at the 70th minute, no matter what game it is. If it's a Manchester derby, listen, we're going to make sure it's like the empty-ad. You know what I mean? We're going to make sure it's empty at the empty-ad. You know what I mean? We're going to teach them what it's all about. We can show them what it's really empty about. We can go in there and 7th minute, everyone's leaving. Then it's on Sky Sports. Some of the officials are there. The manager's looking at it thinking, whoa, they've all left. They proper mean it. But if we just say to ourselves, protest, that can only go so long. Then apathy comes into it. But if we plan to throw toilet rolls in the stadium, listen, Charlton did it. Blackpool did it. Their owners are out.
Yeah.
So if the cameras can pick up on that, think, you know what? 80th minute, boom. Everyone's left the stadium. They've thrown toilet roll, or whoever's gone invaded the pitch. Whatever happens, you feel me? If it means the Glazers go, as long as no players are hurt, someone goes into the pitch. You know what I mean? Right, listen.
He loves your leaking roof, don't he, man?
No, listen, he loves it, man. You know what I mean? I don't know if he wants to help us out on that, but if you want to help us out, Steve, you know what I mean? AC Milan helped each other out and Inter Milan.
Yeah, exactly, man.
So, for me, I think walkouts for me are very, very, I think they could very work. Because at the end of the day, you got to realize it's a prominent kind of feeling that the fans have discontent and they don't feel like anything's going on. But if you just say to yourself, right, We're not going to go to the stadium. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. Then it's not going to work, is it? So I just feel like for me, go and get the fan protest. Yes, he could do it. But when you're in the stadium, voices are heard. Nobody's silent. Nobody's saying that I'm just coming here to watch the team. We say our voices. We start saying Glazers out. And also, when there's a movement to get out, right, everyone do the walkouts. If it happens, if you get at least 20,000 leaving the Emirates, come on, man, that's a big tune, you know. That's only 40k left in the stadium. And
imagine if it was like Arsenal v United and they actually came together and said,
there you go,
out and we walk out. You know what I mean?
There you go. And if you could do that, boy, oh boy, that would be a massive statement, mate. But the problem is, what happens to the fans when Sancho comes in? Are you going to do it? I don't think you're not going to do it.
You lot are going to get Stormzy in the video again with Sancho and lose your mind, bro.
Sancho comes in. For me, I know what kind of fan I am. I'm not getting excited by the Sancho deal. It happens, I get excited for a day, I move on. But when I know that happens, and we go and get someone else, that whole narrative gone out the window. Because at the end of the day, this is what happens in football. Apathy comes into it, and you lose hope of what's happened before, and you concentrate on what's happening now. And that's the reality of life. If someone offers you now, I don't know, if I give you 500 quid now, and still you've got a debt of, let's say, £2,000, you're not going to worry about that other 1,500, but that 500 for now, you're going to be like, yo.
You're going to be happy with that, innit?
You're going to be happy with that because at the end of the day, it's in the now. You know what I mean? You're happy right now. You're content. As soon as that comes on, you're not. And then you're going to be like, boy, I'm back to where I was, mate. And you've got a head manager, and then you've got owners
knocking at the door, you know
what I mean? So
just quickly to wrap up the Euros. What are you? Who do you think's going to win it?
For me, I've got France to win it, but my dark horse is I feel like I just want to say Italy. I think, you know what, forget France. I feel like, but for me, dark horse is at Italy. They've got a strong team. Locatelli, Pellegrini, Verratti, Jorginho. They've got the guy from Inter Milan. What's his name?
Barella.
Barella, yeah. Bro, their midfield is stacked. The problem is, though, they've got an aging back line, though. They haven't got the best back line, man.
Yeah.
Benucci, Chiellini. If they've got the legs in midfield, it could happen. If they keep the ball, then teams will get tired. But the problem is, though, can they, if France and all them teams like Germany, they like to work teams. They're very, very good runners, man. So if they can do that, then for me, it will work out more. France, just too much depth, mate. You know what I mean? And then Portugal as well is a good shout. You know, there for me, looking a strong team. I think that's about it, really. And then Germany, you got me. But I think the flops for me, if you ask me, flops would be England, Spain, Holland. They're the flops for me.
The flops, yeah.
Yeah, England, Spain, and then they're the flops for me. What about you?
Yeah, no, I think France. I just think with Benzema as well, and Mbappe, Griezmann, their team's ridiculous.
It's too much.
I saw Pogba the other day, man. He just looked a different player with Kante next to him. He bossed it.
There you go. Even Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno
against better players. It's all about the system, people. You have a good system. Have a manager that suits the style of play of how you play. It works out. You know what I mean? You're looking at England with Southgate. Same with Ollie. They have a good team, but don't know how to put them together.
No,
you know what I mean? And that's the reality, mate. It happens in football, man. You know? Can always talk about money, but it don't work out, mate.
Sometimes, it's the system and the manager, man. Just before we go, a lot of people asking, man, when's your fight with X?
I don't know, we need to sort out a time date, but I'm just training, man, you know what I mean? I'm just sparring and whatnot. I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm just working out every day as much as I can. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it will happen. We'll just need to set a date, man. As soon as Expressions is done, chilling with Sophie every day, you know what I mean? Then maybe we can get this fight sorted out. But, man, it will happen soon.
That will break YouTube, I'm telling you.
Listen, I'm telling you, man, we're just for now, but we're just working hard. You get me? Shout out to my trainer, Premzy, Jay, you feel me? I'm just working hard, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just focusing on the fight, and then when that's done, then I'm just gonna knock him out. You know me, man. I'm gonna get it over and done with, and then move on, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I can't wait. That'll be a great fight, man. Get Robbie to promote that. Eddie Hearn business.
Yeah, 100%, man. Eddie Hearn, man. You get me? We can sort it out. I reckon we can sell our own venue, man. Put a little venue out.
Yeah.
And then boom, sort it out, and then we can go boom, boxing ring, 10-ounce gloves. We can do it.
That's it, man. That'll be a banger. I see you putting
You get me?
videos out, training and that. I love
Yeah,
it.
man, we're moving, man. We're moving. You get me? It's elevation time, man. We're just working out here, man. Come on, people.
Trust me,
You
man.
get
But
me?
yo, bro, big up for coming on. Really appreciate you coming on. We got
Nah, anytime, man.
over 1,000 people in here. Make sure you subscribe to Saeed's channel. I'll be on there tomorrow at 12:30. We're gonna do something on your channel.
12:30. Yeah, man.
12:30 tomorrow. Subscribe, like this video as well. I'll be back at 4:30 with an Arsenal video. Xhaka's leaving. We're getting this keeper, Anana from Ajax. He's had his ban reduced to September. So check that out. What you got anything coming on today you want to promote?
Yeah, I've got me and Liz are going live tonight at 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
so shout out for that. We've got unfiltered talk, you get me? And then yeah, man, Friday be back with Curtis, 12:30 tomorrow. And then just like Euro watch-alongs, innit? You feel me? Euro watch-alongs. You get me? And then we're just, you know what I mean? We're just doing bits and bobs, man. Yeah, we're just moving, elevating, man. Everyone's winning, man.
That's it, man. Together, you know, we can all achieve more, innit? Help each other.
That's it, brother. That's it, man. Big up to everybody, bro. Come on.
Nah, listen, man, I appreciate you coming on because some of these Arsenal streams, I'm like, boy, man, you know, we're getting down. So you came on, you brought some energy to it today, man.
Come on,
so
man. Come on, bro. You know, always with me, yeah. Energy, man. You get me? That's for me. Just you get me. Just live your life good and just we enjoy life, man. That's what it's all about, people.
Yeah, for real, man. Appreciate you coming on. Anyone asking, I've got a European Fantasy League. Links in the description below if anyone wants to jump in on that league. Make your team, get it in before tomorrow. I'll see you all at 4:30. Don't forget, subscribe to Saeed, and I'll see you all later. Big up, bro.
Big up, man. Big up. Love.